You win some, you lose some. Many rounds won by Cloud9, but overall they lost the game. It was a comeback from SK, 10 rounds in a row, in fact, once they won with just an op and a few pistols. Henry's looking contemplative because we are about to jump into Cobblestone, and there's lots to consider.
Having a look on the server as to who won the knife round, it seems like
server conditions are good.
Yeah, I think they're looking all right today, you know? It could be a good game. We'll forecast for one, I think.
Nice.
Either way, but it will be SK Gaming side on the T side here. This is their map pick. They've already won Cloud9's. Feel like that 2-0 could be very likely. It's Cloud9 who seem to have very solid CT sides, but the T sides where they're dropping off somewhat in the tactical game. SK certainly warmed up into that one, as you noticed towards the end of that. It was Fur especially. What an absolute fantastic tournament he's having. He's looked great throughout. It's some of the bigger names though, coldzera and Fallen. Fallen had his moments towards the end there, but coldzera was a little bit absent, I have to say, in that game.
Yeah, not his greatest. The funny thing is, when you still say it's not his greatest, Cold's still reasonable.
Not a bad game.
It's still, contribution somewhere on the board, but Fur was the one,
Phelps did have a bad game. I'll point that out.
All right, fair enough.
He was on like 5 for 20, I think, at one point, maybe 5 for 19. But hopefully he can bounce back. It's Cobblestone, their map pick, and we'll see if they can do it.
Well, against North, this is the map they actually won, and North stole the other two, which we did not think was going to be the case at all. It was a completely backwards series. But if you want to call out Phelps, this was the map he was very good on. So perhaps he can replicate that success, I guess, yesterday, if you want to call it that, today.
I'm sure we can see him get back into this series. But yes, if you're just joining us, this is the decider match so far, and we've already got 1-0 for SK Gaming. They win this one, they're through to the playoffs. They did lose to North in a surprise. I guess you could call it an upset, considering they won Cobblestone, which I think is North's best map. Then lost on Train, which is a map technically North don't really play that much at all.
Absolutely true.
What an amazing turn of events. But it looks like we are live, ladies and gentlemen. Cobblestone will be the second map of the best of 3. Cloud9, as I said, on the CD side. SK on the T side here. No upgraded pistols as of yet, but 2 smokes, Molotovs, flashbangs, and decoys. Fallen with the bomb. And we can see Taco. He has not invested anything into this round map. What is going on there?
He was playing the second AWP on the CT side. I don't know if there's something in that, perhaps. But you're right, no investment at all from Taco is a bit of a curious thought. Seems to be a B hit from SK based on their setup. They're inside of the smoke. They already want to go out. Tarek is waiting. No wall, which means he can walk right back into the vision and walk straight back into a line of sight toward the terrace. Entering, gets the shot, so too does Rush from the E-box. Fallen finally strikes back for one. Have to get a bomb plant down reasonably quick, though, because already the CTs are swarming and they don't even get that far. Cloud9 picks up yet another pistol. I say yet another. It's 2-1 now. They've won the 2 most recent pistols, but they get the good start here on Cobblestone.
Yeah, not really much to report from SK there. Simple B play. 1 smoke deployed, flash over, pouring out towards the B-bomb site together, but 3 frags from Rush. It's very good on the CD side of Train. Popping the heads off there. Not really much SK could do about it. No plant coming through, but Taco, he does go all in. He manages to get Deagle, head armor, smoke, flashbang. I guess there's one positive to not investing anything in the pistol. Get instantly wrecked. You have an extra $800 into the next round. Boost from the CTs here. They'll be very defensive, trying to hold off the pistols here of SK, who are very, very good with the Deagles, CZs, and the Tech 9s, of course. That will be in the hands of Phelps.
Taco backs off just a little bit after firing a few Deagle shots down toward Tarek. Cold, meanwhile, with the CZ, will wait over toward bottom and middle smoke out. Can't do much to block or deny it. I wish body blocking smokes was more of a thing.
Yeah.
More of a meta.
It doesn't really do much, does it? Like, you can touch them, but it still goes exactly where it should have done.
Yeah. Well, it kind of holds up for a second, but you can knock it off by like a few pixels, but not enough. JW, actually, for Fnatic, used to do it in the window of Mirage. And originally the meta, remember now it's all about the short smoke on Cat, then getting to the boxes, then throwing the smoke so that it lasts longer so you can get toward connector with more of a conceal. It used to be the meta was, and I'm talking like X Games 2015, was instantly just throw the window smoke from spawn and rush mid as quick as you could, and people discovered that timing didn't really work, but JW used to try and body block it. To which then TSM found out, or actually then Dignitas, then TSM after that event. Tarek takes down Fallen on the way through. Straightforward. The buy from Fur onto an MP9 is curious because he does love the gun, but goes down. It was Dignitas at the time that figured out he's body blocking that smoke every time. Why don't we bait him into body blocking it and we'll just shoot him as he's doing it? And then that became the thing, and that's how they actually beat Fnatic in that Mirage game.
Well, there we go. SK Gaming there trying to get towards the B side once more, but shut down by the FAMASes. And no bomb planted once again means the full eco now for SK. 2-0. Nothing really invested into this round. Taco brings a P250. That's about it. One flashbang. Head towards B again. Try and get a plant here. Disappointing in that regard, of course, by not getting a plant at all. But Rush finds yet another kill. 4 to his total now. And he's just finding lots of money here with that UMP.
We'll get Phelps back through the wall. For again, last alive. Take the bomb and throw it at someone. I heard it works like a grenade if you do that. Do it, Fur. Just throw it at him. Reasonable try. Not even remotely close to a reasonable try, but it's 3-0 Cloud9. They'll go back into the guns. But so too in joining them will be SK because they've got AKs out. They'll get 4 or 5 AKs because there's only 4,304 fallen. It's not like you can consider anything different. So go immediately onto a full rifle setup with decent utility as well. Smokes for all 5. And a split 3-2 out of spawn doesn't necessarily suggest a fast wall on B.
No, this will be more of the default here. Try and get that long A control. It's normally Phelps and Fallen. That's very quick from Phelps to get to this area. I think they'll be aware as to this being a possibility. Phelps can buy enough time to Fallen though. He can for the backstab, but it doesn't look like he wants it just yet. Phelps will stay alive. CT decide to fall back. It's not really worth their time. Not worth the risk, perhaps, so they can pull the boost. Boost is coming back and more into the fray, it seems.
It's going to be the M4 put up as well. I was half thinking the AWP. I could see it maybe just being good enough for one and then drop to safety, but they'll leave the AWP to watch long.
Yeah, it makes more sense because you have the AWP add towards the APC, right? Covering long and then backing up the retreating M4 player.
I just like to be unorthodox.
Turret.
I'm the one and done kind of guy. I do this really nifty play, it works, and then there's no escape plan, and it falls apart. But I got that one kill.
Well, 1 minute remaining now. Phelps and Fallen looking more comfortable this time. Bomb is towards long A. This is the strategy, I think, where we go towards drop down with one player. That's looking like to be Taco. He'll try and get one frag towards that area. And then his teammates were ready to go towards middle. They'll smoke towards connector. Try and Molotov towards the balcony area. Go together. Taco's actually joining them. Nothing towards drop down whatsoever. They've got a couple of smokes remaining. Flashbangs as well. CT's ready for it though. Skadoodle still watching long A. Automatic backing him up on the site. He's hit his first shot, but the flashbangs are decent.
Oh, I think he gets spotted going to the barrels. That's going to put pressure onto him because now they all know he's there. He was smart to read toward the half wall, and he's also looking for the wraparound, but the flash duration too long, slightly too long. As Taco finds automatic after only getting one. It's traded back by Tarek, but it's still the advantage for SK is cold. You can see the flames, the muzzle firing off from inside of the hut. Tarek's able to trade it back again, but it's still the man advantage. They know where he is. They almost lined it up. If he had hit headshots, it would have been a straight kill for both. But they get the shot back from the SK side.
Good lord, be careful there, SK. That could have been an absolute nightmare for them. But they hold strong just about. Tarek can't line them up, and they win their first round. 2 players surviving. Makes things a little bit uncomfortable in terms of the rebuys. Cloud9, they bring out the double AWP setup. Nice and early as well. Skadoodle and Stewie this time. Timeout. Looks to be tactical here from the SK boys. Just discussing what they can do going forward. They're one of the few teams that don't have a professional coach.
I was just thinking the same thing, I know, because the timeouts, it's just Fallen getting more time to talk to his troops because he can talk to them at any time that he likes.
Obviously, when they're at the very peak, I guess, the double major run, that's when they had Zeus behind them. But ever since then, they have had like managers and stuff, but never really a full-time professional coach. So it's just interesting to know their current number 1
I guess
team.
Zeus was kind of...
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Oh, sorry, I thought you were talking about Dead, who's more...
No, that's what it was.
Yeah.
So Zeus was definitely a coach for them, and that's the double major run.
Yeah.
But yeah, Dead, more of like a kind of managerial sort of role, holding everything together.
Yeah, exactly that. Good friends with everyone, knows the personalities, balances them, and helps take care of anything they need. Autumn back out toward the hay bales. Has Skadoodle with him on the AWP. It's going to be a double up setup for Cloud9. Taco only with a deagle, so starts out without buying anything, and yet still is the one with the tattered economy on the SK side. Good shot from Automatic, finds Phelps. Couldn't quite locate a shot back, onto Skadoodle. He gets taken down immediately as Fallen will follow up, so they actually create another opening as Fur sneaks into the lower side of the A entrance, the mid side. Rush jumps back inside of the side as a flash lands, but Tarek is the next in line to spot anyone, and he's going to go more passive, so they don't feel like taking confrontations. They want to try and rest a little bit on this 3-man situation by which they are still down 1, and let SK be the one to make the next move.
Yeah. looking very good towards the A side of the map. Fallen jumps out of long A here. This is nuts, but coldzera taking 2 frags. Fallen took the attention away, and coldzera strikes at the same time. That's round done. That was a double up set up for Cloud9 as well. Not really much I can do with this retake. So this depot from SK working very nicely indeed. It's Phelps and Fallen getting long A control, finding the frags required. Cloud9 went with a more of aggressive stance there as well to try and lock that down. Lost both the frags at the beginning of one trade, but wasn't quite enough there. And coldzera finding some form now, it seems. We did see on train he looked a little bit quiet than what we're used to, but that's a huge round by him. Finds 2 frags, stays alive as well. Answer to Stewie to try and save the AWP as he waits above drop down here.
Should be able to do so. Threat looms from the fact that first close. He checks this. Won't have time to get up there now. I don't think. Oh, he's just going to, but Stewie hears him coming and therefore takes him down. So the op still saved over. SK responding after losing the pistol. The shot by Automatic was decent to find Phelps, but Fallen was able to get back into position to get Skadoodle before he could repeak. And that entrance with Cold was very good. You said it right. Fallen did take away all of the attention because they just spotted each other fractionally, and it was enough to throw off Rush, who was sitting front stables. I don't personally like that position, but a lot of people do.
Well, there we go. Stewie with the chance to find the first frag. Obviously not forcing around this round, and it's going to be Stewie saving the AWP. No one getting anything at all. No Deagles or CZs. Hoping Stewie could maybe get the first pick there. Narrowly misses out on it, and now Taco does find Stewie. That's the orb dropped, and a missed shot means he should run away with this round. Gets dinked in the process, but finds 3 frags. No problem for Taco.
No problem at all. Cold able to find Skadoodle as well. Next one is in the same position. It's Tarek. No one's really got eyes on Tarek, though.
Here we go.
Bomb has been planted.
Don't move. Let everyone run away. And get a full 10-second ninja. Don't shoot.
Defuse now.
No, as soon as he touches it, Taco has to run further away. He's low HP. Oh, he's missed the shot, though. And as soon as he takes down Taco anyway, he might get the kill. You're right. No, he doesn't. As soon as he took down Taco anyway, they would immediately show up again, and he wouldn't be able to get full 10 seconds. But it was worth the attempt. Sneaky Beaver.
Timeout once again for SK. So after winning 3 rounds in a row.
Interesting that they've used 2, both of them after winning rounds.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what's piquing my interest. But the money for Cloud9, we'll have a look at that as well. Obviously not really investing a single thing into the last round. We'll buy up to this one. No kits, no head armor. That is a bit of a problem with Phelps on that UMP. Falling back on the orb himself. And no kits available for Cloud9. Skadoodle, no nades whatsoever. Oh, gets the smoke. And a kid as well. There we go. He's just kind of contemplating how he'd invest the rest of his utility there. And here we go. Unpause comes through. I guess at this point, it was a chance for Fallen just to track the money, work out where Cloud9 were. Knowing they saved an AWP and they didn't invest anything to that round, just work out where they'd be positioned. And this is a very difficult round for the North American side.
Tarek will do what he can with it.
Is that a missed CT smoke?
I think so, yeah. I don't think that bounced off box. I think that landed light.
Yeah, that's so useless for them now.
Yep, completely. Tarek got close enough to a gap inside of the broken part of the wall, but it's still not enough. They're not going to walk toward that wide open as it is. Automatic, meanwhile, in danger. Good headshot onto Cold. He knows one's gone by as well. Gone up the ramp at middle, so he'll start to put his attention there instead. Phelps covering off with his teammate Fallen, who takes Tarek. They missed a shot though on Stewie. Have to be still slightly curious as to where Automatic went. But the low HP on Stewie, late reactions from Phelps. Low HP on Stewie should be enough to take him down. He gets sword cannons. If Fur's not had this information relayed to him, it'll be a tough entrance, but he knows exactly where he is. Great calls and communication. And Phelps knows as well, based on the same calls, that someone from danger is missing. It's Automatic. They find him on the ramp.
Instant headshot as well without the head armor to work with. Executed at the top of the ramp. It was a difficult financial situation for Cloud9. Have to take yet another eco here. 4 rounds against them in a row. And Phelps, he's loving this prospect. He'll be buying the MAC-10. Running around, trying to farm some cash here. Orb still for Fallen. Decent attempt from Cloud9 to find a round after losing the first 2 frags. Managed to get back into it with some valiant attempts from Automatic, but wasn't enough. They've lost the lead at this point. Still doing okay, but Still relying on that pistol and 2-round victory after that. Haven't posted a single gun round as of yet. Phelps, okay. Mac in the middle. Somehow taken down.
Taco, good entrance though. Again against pistols, last time had 3 here, has to get out of there with only 7 HP nearly. It's blocked by Cold, but no one pursuing, and Cold next in. He's able to follow up and find the remainder.
This could still go wrong, you know.
All right, Henry.
Something could happen.
Always the pessimist.
Or optimist for Cloud9.
Optimist for Cloud9, but you phrased it in a negative light. This could go wrong. The glass half empty. Cold sits on the box to watch toward the E-box. No one pushing through yet, so the pistols, yes, you're right, do have 2 players on low HP, but not much of a chance of finding entries. Fur will find Rush immediately, and therefore, round pretty much secured. SK gonna find 5 in a row. So it's fortunate, therefore, that Cloud9 was able to pick up the pistol. Automatic, Deagle. Not really gonna be able to do much now that he's spotted. Don't even need to go that aggressive, and Fur's gonna try and slip up closer than Automatic realizes.
5-3, Cloud9. Making things a little bit interesting there with the damage inflicted at the very start, and they did find Phelps and the MAC-10, but that's the whole idea of that play. You bring out the MAC-10 and go investigate for information. Even if it goes down, it's pretty useless against head armor and Kevlar, so it doesn't really do too much for them. And now we're going to another full gun round here. 5-3 for SK, 5 rounds in a row. Maximum loss bonus for Cloud9. Double orbs once again. It seems like a lot of teams are trying to force themselves on double orbs on the CD side combo. It seems like most teams are going for that stance right now. I haven't seen it have a tremendous amount of impact. I prefer the single orb moving that around still. But we'll see if Skadoodle and Tarek can make it work. He'll be orping now. They have said they have many options with the AWP in this team. I don't like that though. I think that's too inconsistent. I prefer to have well-versed AWPers that are used to doing it and they're doing it consistently. It feels like this is a bit of a scramble. That's why that Fnatic lineup, you remember, they kept changing up every single map and round. Yeah. I hated that.
Every single round is accurate.
That's Marco.
Sorry?
That's one of them gone.
Yeah, well, Fallen's gotten Skadoodle as well, so both of them are gone. Fallen finds Automatic. He's got pretty much everyone in his sights and kills them quite quickly in doing so. Very efficient on the AWP. Pushing smokes. Why not? Stu has at least picked up one of the AWPs that was dropped over. They're going to try and save that at this point in time because SK is walking the bomb into an empty A site. And in fact, the bomber's the only one in A. The rest have a nice perimeter, slowly closing down like a garbage dispenser in Star Wars on the remaining players in B.
Very specific reference, but I like it.
It's a good one though, right?
Yeah.
As Rush waits, is able to at least get Phelps. Turns and finds Taco quite quickly, but AWP down and M4 as well. That was the goal for SK Gaming.
6-3. SK Gaming looking dominant right now. That's Fallen doing what he does best, as we said. Pretty quiet on train, but those are 2 sublime shots there with the AWP. Gets the 3rd as well through the door. Not too bad. Has to be another eco now for the boys in Cloud9. CZs, PT50s. Haven't seen them do too much with the pistols so far, apart from winning the initial round, of course. But SK looking very comfortable now. This is their map pick, just to reiterate as well. If you're just joining us, we kick things off on train. Cloud9's pick, it felt like a game they should have won that. They were like, what, 13-8 up at one point? And
6, if I'm not
36,
mistaken.
right? And it went horribly wrong. SK got back into it. It's completely crushed them on the CT side. Cloud9 with the 4-0 start, just couldn't get anything tactically rolling for themselves.
Smoke into the depths of mid to allow SK, at least toward danger. Watch the stack. The beehive, as you call it, Henry. Rush. Good crossfire set with Tarek. They'll know that he's there. He'll back off, but they get the AK, only for a moment. They get the AK.
Yeah, they touched it.
Fingerprints are on it, though. That's all that you need for incriminating evidence.
Yeah, well, Elzera sentences Tarek to death.
I like it.
And it will be a 4-on-1 situation. Stewie, last player remaining. Fur, looking great as usual. 3 more kills for him. And we do have another buy. Surely not the double orb. It's not looking amazing for me. I'd prefer to have rifle crossfires at this point. Tarek, what are you saying? Stewie with the orb this time. And now Skadoodle. See what I mean by the inconsistencies? Like, that, for me, that's just frustrating. Like, that's not the kind of
yeah, Skadoodle's had it both times, but yeah,
that's
Stewie
fine.
and Tarek.
So mixing it up, like, obviously you've got some weird different setups there. Like, it's difficult for the players to really get into the groove of AWPing this map if you're changing up different rounds. And sure, you have options, and it's nice to have that sometimes, but for me, a CS team, I want to have the same people doing the same roles each round.
Sometimes it's spawn dependent, which actually I think I don't like for the sake of inconsistency. I think that also speaks to your argument about bringing back set spawn rotations, because then you could predict when you want to save and not, I guess to buy double ops and not, or when to save to get the double ops when you know your spawn is coming up to have aggressive stances. I think that could actually affect buying as well as everything. In terms of setup, Tarek in the smoke, trying to get lost, basically. Wants to be forgotten about, but he won't be. He's definitely been kept track of by Taco, who immediately swings wide to find him, revealing himself in an attempt to catch them off guard. It's just Skadoodle remaining on the AWP, and they're pushing quite quickly. Good no-scope to find Fur. Knows Phelps is also close by, and Phelps realizes he's decent without using a scope, so he slows down. He quicks onto him, and can't click, onto Fallen. So down he goes, 8 now in a row for SK.
Full wall of smoke towards B. Cloud9, certainly a new squad. It's their first tournament with this roster. It's very difficult to hold off those sort of rounds. You have to give them that. It's no easy feat to hold off those sort of executions from the likes of North and SK, who do it perfectly as well, especially when they're hitting shots like this time and time again. Fallen spots on through the smoke, no bug there. This is a little gap to work with, and he gets a last shot as well. He seems like he's really getting into the zone now, Fallen. 12 kills, 4 deaths, much better than he was in Train. Has to be another eco now for the Cloud9 side. Yet to post any sort of rifle round. And that double orb setup for me, it's just not working. I think these boys rely on Skadoodle to orb for you. You've got fantastic riflers available. Get the crossfires set up there, and let's do what you do best instead of trying to force that issue every single time. It probably works online in the practices and stuff. They probably like wreak havoc with the double orbs in North America in the practice and stuff, but against SK, I don't think they're going to be able to get much done. Too many smokes, too many Molotovs deployed, the flashbangs are out. Need a bit more versatility, I guess.
Boost goes up. Rush. Might as well just, here, let me help you up there so you can die. Puts him straight into the AK-47 for as they were therefore able to go after the man boosting him. Automatic, they had to know he was down there. Good shot from Tarek on the CZ. I have a lot more of those up his sleeve. Apparently does not. 9-3 now for SK. This is more what we would have expected. T-side as well on Cobblestone. And we're going to get a timeout for Cloud9. Their second timeout. So 4 timeouts have been used already in this game. 2 aside.
Yeah.
All of them after SK have won rounds.
It's true. But
I wouldn't lie to you, Hank.
This one is for Cloud9, of course. Single orb setup running. It's going to be... Oh no, it's Tarek buying an orb first. Skadoodle yet to buy. They really want to make this double orb setup work, don't they? Which it hasn't been. They really want to force this issue. Tarek orbing this time, as Stewie before. 3 M4s. Let's see if they can get rolling with this one. It seems like Tarek goes towards the upper platform and Skadoodle orbs in the A side of the map. It's good to know. We're learning about this roster, of course. We haven't seen this new look Cloud9 as of yet, so I can't really tell you their tendencies on each map as of this point. Obviously, everything's changed up, and I'm learning as we go on as well. No head armor for the Cloud9 side, but that's fine up against just AKs and orbs here. Could be a bit of an issue if a pistol gets brought out. All then watches towards that platform once again. We'll follow Tarek. Doesn't go aggressive this time towards the chicken coop. More of a defensive line, which I probably prefer in this instance, considering it was getting wrecked on the upper platform. And Skadoodle.
Yeah, it wasn't really
top and middle.
Well.
No, it was not. And Skadoodle will be playing top and middle, watching the connected door.
Bomb was dropped temporarily for Fallen to regrab. He's holding bomb on AWP, which suggests he'll look for long angles and let the AKs do most of the work on entry to clear the site. Not really a revelation by any sense. Stu will sit by the tree. Double checks the archway with a Molotov, no one inside of it. Smoked off as well, so he just pre-fired in, but Skadoodle started off by getting Fallen early. So he did look for the longer angle, but didn't quite get what he wanted. Tarek, on his AWP, is still holding from Chicken Coop. This may allow Rush to rotate earlier, but they have to consider drop, because again, this is the play where Taco is the one that wants to be the man down, the last man down. Run boost for Fur, the bottom of mid, gets him up the ramp a little bit further, but still they have to contend with the fact that the AWP is at the back of the site. Automatic elevated by the HUD as well on the platform itself, would be able to see him, and does. Just spots his head going by. Now his element of surprise is gone, but again, the same flash catches off Skadoodle, and nearly they get the headshot on the second player. Automatic with a second flash that came over, but he just barely was saved by the wall. Cold, meanwhile, does find him, but he's exactly got to get inside of the site. He goes back to try and find his way. Can't get there.
There we go. Finally working out for Cloud9. The double up setup yields some fruits. It was Skadoodle this time, a lot more defensive, holding top of middle instead of pushing towards long A, and Tarek fighting at the upper platform. They've made an adjustment. It seems to be working as well. So finding that initial frag, taking down a key player towards middle, allowing them to have some time to fall back and not get completely overrun. But the brutal aim right now of SK Gaming, holding up in more of those crossfires, and we'll see whether it works out as we get into round number 14. We can still get 9-6 here. Then we've got a game on our hands. 11-4. I wouldn't really be relieving. Here we go, round number 14. Tarek once again, defensive line, holding towards Chicken Coop. Fallen, waiting for anyone to make a mistake and face that up a platform. They're not smoking platform at the very start of the CTs.
Well, smoking kills.
Yeah, well, that's true. Frugal with their smoke grenades. Towards middle. Goes in towards danger as well. That bounced smoke covers the connector doors, but Skadoodle hasn't been phased just yet. No hold yet. Flashbangs don't get him either. Trying to find the first pick. This time, a bit more aggro. Wants to get that first kill once again, which he probably will. Narrowly misses out on it.
Getting closer, but Skadoodle's position is key. It's slightly late to catch anyone going inside of the ramp, and if he wanted to be audacious about it, he could push around behind them. A good find from Phelps. Skadoodle, recognizing there's still one more toward long, is going to try and get through the smoke, but Phelps has the advantage on the AK. Skadoodle therefore positioned so that no matter where he walks through, it's not a far flick to find a no-scope, and the proximity is reasonable. Instead, bomb to be planted. Stewie can't quite deny it, so Cold gets it down and gives his team a chance. His team being fur inside of the smoke right now, causing the most amount of devastation. Unfortunately, Taco found by Tarek means that he still has work to do and they know where he is. Flash over, can't quite spot toward cannons just yet, but doesn't need to round until they go onto the defuse. Good read from Stewie, knowing that he was likely close by for that exact reason, but he lost his teammate at the same time, and Fallen shows up exactly when he's uninvited.
Yeah, tries to drop the smoke and bait out that he's going for the defuse there, but Fallen faces just before it blooms, and that's the harsh reset now for Cloud9. Should almost certainly be 11-4 here. They've picked up one gun round in this first half after going up 3-0. Definitely was up in the air. That's where Cloud9 can win that one, but CZ across the board now. Smokes, flashbangs, no kits. One incendiary, Tarek no utility whatsoever, but this should be SK now. Finding that 11-4 scoreline. This is their map pick. Really one step closer to the 2-0 of the series and booking their place in the playoffs.
Phelps will work his way through the smoke. Well-timed flash to catch Fur, who looked like he might have a little bit of aggression in him to push through and try and take over middle. Meanwhile, Phelps goes wrapping around at danger. Automatic, therefore, has a bit of a problem. He's isolated, but his teammates will come to his aid. And the Pistols will grab a gun to work with.
Something to work with at least, and they're finding more frags, it seems, at AK-47. Finding the second one. It's up to Fallen now with the Tech 9 in hand. AWP out now. Misses the shot. The boost works out quite nicely. This could be the round stolen away by the North American side. Down to the 4-on-2. Cold Zero and Taco left. Quite the formidable duo. Bomb down. Cloud9 plenty to work with there, but the gun has fallen.
Cold will continue to push around. Automatic in the corner. Just the pistol. 13. Cold nearly got close enough to spot it, but he knows that there's like to be a crossfire with the Pistols and gets baited into it. He so nearly read it and got it right.
Could have been glorious, but that should be it.
He nearly read it, but he was 4chan.
But he was what?
But he was 4chan.
Oh, I see. Nice.
Don't ruin it. Just go with it.
Yeah, I get it.
Taco got automatic back, however. But considering they were against Pistols, that's not gone well. 10-5. You said if they got toward that scoreline, they might have a chance. Well, they've done exactly that. SK did not win the pistol. Cloud9 did, and yet they only find the 5 rounds. So good half altogether, but still work to do.
Still a lot of work to do. Wasn't the most convincing of halves there for Cloud9. As we pointed out a few times, they did win the pistol in convincing manner. 3-0 after that, and they get one gun round and a force-buy victory with the CZs there. But still, enough to work with there. That's not the worst scoreline in the world. But up against SK in the form they're in right now on their map, I'm still not feeling too hopeful for them. They can win the second half pistol, which they have been looking very promising in. I'm sure there's still a chance for the Cloud9 boys. We'll go into the second half. Any moment now. Stewie looking a little bit exasperated.
Yeah, not exactly stressed. I think he is looking stressed. It's not exactly calm, relaxed, looking like he needs definitely to win this game. They do need to win this game if you're not familiar with the situation we are currently in. It's a best-of-3 decider match between SK and Cloud9. North already advanced yesterday. In fact, our first team to the playoffs, but they advanced from this particular group. And it's 1-0 SK after winning Train. A map that Cloud9 had in their grasp. I think you cannot dispute that.
No, for sure. That was theirs. Their map pick. 13-6, 27 up. All fell apart. Must-win round for Cloud9. 1 smoke, 2 flashbangs, and headshot for Fur. Aggressive towards long A. Still wants a little bit more from this as well. Surely he falls back, but so aggressive. Wants to find even more kills. He gets 2, surely not 3. Oh God, it's a massacre. 3 headshots with that silenced USP.
Well done, Fur. But SK in a perfect position finds Stewie as well. He may not get the ace because Tarek's well removed from it, although getting Taco, let him hunt. He had one taken away from him on Train. I don't think SK is the team to really care about personal stats. They just want to close it out, although Cold
boys,
going down.
down.
Tarek, yeah, he could pull this back if they're not too careful about things. Grabs the bomb out of all this as well and goes back toward the drop room. They're all rotating over toward A. Goes down, Phelps spots him, backed off. Tarek puts some damage in, but Phelps will close it. They've had enough. It goes 11-5 for SK at DreamHack Masters in Malmö.
4 kills of Fur. He's definitely gunning for the MVP of this tournament so far. Looking fantastic. Most players, when they get the first pick, as pointed out, you're trying to keep that advantage, keep it at 5-4, hedge your bets, and work back towards the ace side. He's not happy with that. He just wants to headshot absolutely everyone. Why not? 11-5 has to be the force buy from Cloud9. Tara got a few kills in return, meaning he can buy a scout here. Teammates with Tech 9s and Deagles, but they can't win this round. That could be it for the North American squad. See if they can inflict any damage here. They certainly can towards Fallen as he goes down to 30. He'll be falling back along A here, presumably towards the side itself and have a tighter angle. Have a boost towards mid. Oh, who's going up? Nope. Cold Zera. Makes sense, he's got the HP.
Phelps sits behind box. Scout for Tarek. Right attempt to fire toward Phelps, but can't land the shot.
He normally does that with the AK, if you remember.
It's true. Yeah, actually, that's a very good point. Yeah. Before the stairwell was put in place, he used to spray everyone down through the box because you had to be boosted up. It was very predictable as to where you'd be playing if you're on the platform. When the stairs got added, changed things, but Tarek still went back and nearly made it work.
Go towards middle now. Like I said, pretty good damage inflicted here, and they're going to get a couple of frags working in their favor. Make it 3. 4-on-2 situation. Phelps and Taka to try and recover this one, but it looks like it might be done.
Stu takes down Taco. On planted though for Skadoodle, so Phelps. Work to be done. Cloud9. A lot of ecos in this game. They could find one of their own right now. Looks like they will as well because Phelps is backing off already. So a good win from Cloud9 to give themselves round number 6. Take some momentum immediately onto the second half. Remember, they delivered an eco themselves toward SK to start off on Train. Exactly what they needed. Phelps will at least try and get some of the guns down before they carry them over, but round done. Cloud9, take it.
I just need a round there for Cloud9. 11-6. That could have been the full eco for them, so some of the lifeline at least back into Cobblestone here. Here's the replay of the scout play from Tarek. Getting a few kills in the pistol, and he can bring that weapon out. A little knife stab as well for Stewie to finish things off and have $1,500 in the bag. He brings out the AK-47. He gets a nice full buy with that added boost to his economy. Number 18, not necessarily a full investment from SK. Fur and Cold Zera go all in with armor, upgraded pistols, but I'd consider this an eco.
Cloud9 found out though by Cold Zero. So yes, consider this an eco, but it might be an eco with a good start, good rush. Look at Skadoodle's HP along with rush, because he's down to 4. Skadoodle with only 1. The pistols could actually find more space. The one thing that's going to save Cloud9 in this, if anything, is that they've not been able to pick up any rifles or guns, SMGs included, from the kills that they've gotten so far. If they had, it'd be a dire situation to be in. As such, automatic becomes the hot hand in the round.
Oh, this comes down to timing, doesn't it? And there it is. Skadoodle finds the frag back, but this might not be done just yet. But we're one step closer now for Cloud9. 3-on-1. Phelps with 2 low HP players to find, but not really the position to do it. He comes from top of middle now. It looks like Cloud9 have got themselves another round on the board here. Well, I'll be very careful indeed before they plant. Want to make sure they check every crevice of the bomb site. And the bomb will be planted nice and open. Should be guaranteeing the round now.
Phelps with the CZ. So close yet so far in this round. As you said, it came down to timing in many ways. Skadoodle able to pull off a 1 HP kill that, if he'd gone down, could have changed things quite considerably. Either way, Cloud9 will go to round 7, be within 4. SK's not out of the woods just yet. Can't see the forest from the trees. Henry G.
Well, Phelps, he'll survive. He's got head armor as well, Matt, so that's something.
Picked up the scout.
Scoot as well.
Sir Scoot.
Get that to Fallen. Good enough recap for them. Still in a decent position here. It's their map. CT side now, they're very good indeed, but Fallen, 16 kills, 8 deaths, having a bit of a blinder. Phelps, he's on 6 kills, 12 deaths, Matt. So he still is somewhat absent, like he was on train as well. I think he was on like 5 kills and almost 20 deaths on the first map. His best tournament to date.
For again leading the way.
Yeah, he's been fantastic, like I said. Probably gunning for the MVP so far.
To do that, they've got to win the tournament, and to do that, they've got to make it to the playoffs. And to do that, they have to win this game.
Or the next one.
Or
the next map.
Series. I was going to say beat Cloud9, Henry. I should have just gone with that.
Yeah.
I don't really think ahead. Pretty much ever, actually, when I think about that. Stewie gets inside of the drop. One jump as well from automatic, perhaps baiting out the 2 players had gone down, but Stewie inside. He's going to spot up Phelps, runs back around. Phelps, however, did get automatic beforehand, so it's a costly trade, considering they are against the pistols. But still, they maintain the man advantage on the Cloud9 side. Flash back out. Stewie jumps in, spots one on the windowsill, knows that even though he's committed to that kill, he's likely to be pushed from his left side, reads it well, and takes down both Cold and Taco. Simultaneously, it's only just 4 remaining now for SK, and we're going to be to 11-8.
Last player remaining, PT-50 in hand. Let's find that scout again. That seems to be picked up every single round. Is Tarek's. It's being kept alive here after his successful performance in round number 2.
Oh, yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah, that'll do nicely. Hasn't got any armor to save, but that gives him an extra $300 right there.
I like how he knew he hit him too, because he swapped to the pistol and just tapped him out. For just waiting for anyone else to walk in. Player slowly approaching Tarek, by the way, from long A, but won't get that far, so he'll carry the scout over. The scoot, sorry, Henry.
Thank you for correcting yourself.
To carry it over at least one more round.
Well then, round number 20. Cloud9 do get 3 in a row, but now it's the double orb setup of Taco and Fallen. We saw this in train, and we'll see if it works out once more. But hands towards long A. He's been definitely a nuisance for Cloud9. And since it was danger, looking for the fast mid approach. Smoke to block his vision as of yet, but Rush, he heads in towards long for the default round. I've already flashed over, get some long A control, push towards danger, get the CTs back towards the A site, and then see what the options are at that point.
Play. Smoke out. Fallen trying to fire through it. Thought it might have something in it for the second one if Tarek had gotten a little bit careless with his movement and walked back out at the same time. Fallen would have hit the shot, but doesn't. So with a minute to go, everyone's still alive. Slight damage onto Stewart, finally. He's the first one to take any damage at all. In fact, from an aid lob down through middle. I think Fur was the one to throw that, so he'll back off towards top middle. Bomb still inside of B tunnels, could go either way in the map, so they can't commit to over-rotating just yet, and Phelps has no information through the smoke at long. He's covered off. Utility warfare.
We have got that long air control and danger as well for Cloud9. Time ticking away though. Looks like they will finish up towards the A site. Still with 3 smokes, flashbangs and a Molotov as well. Should be a basic execution here, but Fallen, he's still on the A side of the map. He currently holds towards connector, watching middle, and Fur, he's by the stable. You can see the smoke's coming in now. He'll give the call. That's going to be a final A play. Can he find the frags? Gets one, but Tarek takes him down. Now it's up to Fallen to start hitting shots, but of course, he does that with great style, but Stewie keeping the dream alive here. 8 seconds, they're not on the other side. The bomb's down. I think that's it. They can't win.
No, that is it. That is absolutely it. Phelps just needs to stay alive, and they can't find him. So success for SK after winning pistol. They finally get their second round of the half. They'll go to 12-8. 4 to go.
They keep SK modest, though.
Certainly do. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the money is still a factor.
Yeah. They save the orb, as Phelps finds it, but bit of a nightmare situation there for Cloud9. Letting time run away from them, but still, they had enough time when they finally executed. Just Fallen hitting that shot. Drops the bomb with like 10 seconds remaining. A little bit of a fumble, couldn't get it down. And now you can see UMP's Famis is coming out. Cloud9 could win this. It's going to be a double eco and a chance to then potentially get to 11 rounds here. Almost tie things up. So this is definitely not over just yet. This is a huge round for them. Can't allow Fallen to run away with it. He'll be a little bit more aggressive than usual, considering his teammates are so under-equipped.
Over. Well thrown, but not fast enough, not soon enough, as Fallen is able to find Stu jumping through. Back toward the balcony. Flash high in the sky as well as he rotates back over toward the A side. He's going to stay toward the hut rather than barrels, but doesn't realize it. He certainly could see Tarek in the open, but obviously wasn't quite keeping his attention in front of him rather than perhaps on the radar as he positioned himself, because Tarek was able to get alignment and get the shot. Doesn't matter though. Taco walks back into the site and finds Skadoodle and Rush. 13 now SK and 3 to go. Money is established as well with that round.
Yeah, they're in much better shape now. That was huge for SK. It pretty much solidifies that chance of taking map number 2. Lovely work here by Taco and Co. Pushing through the smoke. Brave, of course, finds 2 frags. Stepping up was Fallen, getting the initial kill, getting the information as well. And now this could be for Cloud9, their final buy here. Get an AWP on Skadoodle, but he's got no armor to work with there. Automatic with no weapon apart from the CZ. But feeling I can go a little bit more aggro here as he gets the AK-47, watching towards those mid doors. Fallen tries to take the first shot, but it's Phelps to go down first. That was a shot by Tarek towards the upper platform. I think that was through the smoke. It's classic.
That is actually 100% the Tarek.
Yeah, spamming the smoke at the platform. Have a look as to where Phelps actually dropped. Okay, so yeah, he was trying to jump up by the smoke, and I walk across, he had the UMP still.
You have such a different ragdoll than our spectator model. The spectator model had him doing like an Antichrist, like drop down, hanging upside down. Yeah. Yours is in a completely different position.
I've got some positions for you.
Right, okay. That came out of left field. But do go on, please.
No, I'll save it for later.
Okay.
5 and 4. Skadoodle, like I said, no armor. Needs to be very careful here. Just trying to get that opening pick. Something for his team to work with. But look at the A site. No CT presence there whatsoever. Automatic by himself and drop down right now. If he can get 1 kill, do something with the CZ, A is open for business. Fallen though, he's in the connector, falls back towards 8, looking for any crossing players, but oh no, make their way towards stables as well. This is looking promising for them.
Already at the top of the wall as they enter with bomb. SK may call the concede early. Automatics in between them all as well at drop room with just the pistol.
Yeah, they might. Yeah, I think they are saving. It's over.
There's no point. I mean, 5 versus 4 on a retake. You've got to take over a whole site.
And you're 13-8 up. No need.
Especially as we just said, they just started to establish their economy. It was limited considerably. So every gun matters at this point in time. For both sides, for that matter, because everyone on Cloud9 right now has 3 digits or less, so they won't even chase this. We might actually get a round that ends with 9 alive. It looks like that's going to be the case. Automatic is the only one that might potentially foil that.
Well,
there you go, 1 kill.
1 kill is all it takes. I guess it was just SK Gaming taking a bit of a gamble there. They lost the first frag on Phelps, got spammed through the smoke by Tarek. They made a bit of a call to assume, fortunately not though, Cloud9 to make the call to walk up middle, out of long A as well, by the stable, found an open bomb site, bomb planted, and you're right, as soon as SK Gaming got that information, it's like, well, might as well save our money here. Might as well keep the weapons up and look towards the next round, where hopefully we won't lose the first pick. Point towards B, nice and early here. Be the play off the bat. 4 players head towards the B halls and 1's in towards middle. That's Stewie, who's trying to show as much presence as he can and go for the split here. But Fur takes him down. Of course he does with that AK.
Phelps getting closer inside of the smoke. It's Taco though at KFC that could be the real problem for them. Phelps easily able to get Tarek. Overcommit though, so it means that the player at KFC, Taco, can't go anywhere. He's smoked off as well, so he's got to be even more patient, and while he's patient, it all goes the other way. Cloud9, they walk in with 2 to the good on rush, 1 automatic. Falling on the flank, meanwhile, WP. It was the shot, but it still baits in Taco, so somehow they still get the kill. Do they recognize the fact that there's 2? I think Taco spots it and does, and Fallen would have already seen it anyway, but it's a one-on-one. Nearly gets caught out without the gun. Ready, gets close, Fallen still pulls it together in time, and SK pick up another round that perhaps they had nothing in.
It seemed like it all gone wrong, that missed shot from Fallen at the upper platform, but you're right, it was Taco on 10 HP, waiting for that flashbang. It's perfect as well, flashes 2 players, he strikes, gets the headshot, takes the aggro away from Fallen as well, and there it is, the classic Fallen calling card. Close range AWPs, forcing his opponents into unfavorable situations, nailing the shot, and 14-9 comes through. No plants, and a forced buy for Cloud9 as they call the pause here. Looking desperate now. They feel like that was their round, it was done. But Fallen with the flank looking much, much better here. Fallen 19 kills, 11 deaths, but still top of the charts with 22. With the initial kill as Stewie tried to show presence towards the A side of the map, got completely eviscerated by Fur. Do keep the money relatively weak still for the CD side, but their money's hardly in a great position either. Trying to deny match point, that is Cloud9. Galil, Tech9, CZ, 2 AKs. Automatic with just 1 smoke and a pistol. Pretty dire times. With only 1 stage of loss bonus as well. Lose this round, I'm almost certain it's game over, that's it.
Fallen waiting, knows they're getting closer, finds Tarek, goes for more. Normally quite quick in those situations. He actually oversteps the mark. So too does Cold. He just rushes back in and thinks, I'll get the jump on them. No, fool be Cold. For meanwhile, back out from long will rotate back around and catch them inside of the site. Does take down Skadoodle. That's the bomb as well, so it causes some confusion. But a missed shot from Taco, found by Stu, is traded back by Fur. It's Phelps is the next to line. Phelps to get them both. They couldn't get to the site. The dropped bomb meant they had to hold station. It was just enough time to let the rotations come in for SK. Only the 10th kill for Phelps, but those 2 important because it puts them on that point.
That would have been difficult for SK to recover from in terms of their financial situation falling apart. So Phelps, sure, he hasn't got many frags, but those are 2 huge ones. Looked like it was going to be a difficult round for SK after losing the initial trade. Fallen went down and they picked up the AWP, but Phelps comes out on top there. Has to be the force buy, of course, for Cloud9. 1 more round will do it. Secure the place in the playoffs. That goes down to 40 HP. Very aggressive player. Likes to take every challenge he possibly can. Cloud9 just waiting for him to push that long A position. Get down to 38 points of health, but still only 1, make it 2 smokes for Cloud9 now and a couple of flashbangs. That's all they really have to work with there.
Fallen. Still watch toward long. With Cold boosted. He wants Cold to cover off the bottom of middle. Oh, Fallen, don't look the wrong way too soon. They have got a player into ward drop. It's the right call. Automatic's there. He takes down Fur, but Cold's going to have to be the one to step up. Top wall works. Oh, wow. He stays there as well. He doesn't even drop off after one. And that might save and steal the round away the game as well, because Fallen's attention turned. I thought Cold had no chance in it. But Automatic on 9 HP will go down. Cold finding that kill fittingly as well to go 16-9 and 2-0. They'll make it into the playoffs and send our new Cloud9 packing their first event as a roster. There is some positives, but still work to be done.
Definitely a lot of work to be done. It's a difficult prospect going up against SK, the #1 team in the world. It's your first tournament with this new look lineup. But to be fair, the new boys performed very well. Tarek and Rush, great performances on train, managing to top frag on the CT half, and I think generally speaking as well. But the T side on train, after having that huge lead, like 13-6, 37, whatever it was, the T side tactics weren't really there for them. That's obviously going to be growing pains as the team develops. CD sides look solid, but moving on to train after losing their own map pick, you felt like SK Gaming had that one ready to go.
Yeah, absolutely. A little bit of concern when they got ecoed in the start of the second half and they started to close the gap a little bit, but then again, when SK got the guns back out, they were able to control it, hold it together, and Cold Zero in the last round looking sharp. Fallen, a little more consistent today.
Much better on Cobblestone at least. Train lacking again, but still Cobblestone carried the team.
Well, and Fur, I have to say, is the most consistent, therefore, over the whole series, especially in Train was excellent.
And that nuts clutch from Fallen, the 1v1.
Yes,
that pretty much secured the game. That was over at that point. They win that round. Money was in the bin for SK. It was done, but SK, well, Fallen, of course, close range AWP. That's normally where he does his best work. Nails that shot and the dreams of Cloud9.
Well, speaking of best work and nailing the interviews, it's nice. Smix. She's always good at them. That's what I was trying to say. I didn't really think that one through, but Smix, over to you.
Fantastic throw, Matt. Thank you very much. Congratulations, Fallen. SK is finally moving on to the round of 8. Maybe not as easy as some people expected, but how is the team itself feeling right now after the past 3 days of ups and downs?
Hello, everyone. I think we are starting to play a little better. When you go back from vacation, when you go back from a break, it sometimes takes you a little bit of time to get back in shape. And for me, personally, I think after the clutch I made on train, I felt like my game was back and I could start helping my team a little bit more. And we are feeling the way we always feel when we play in tournaments. It's never over until they disqualify you, until they send you home. So despite the loss yesterday, we watched what we did. We talked about our mistakes and we have a great atmosphere on work on the problems. That's why I think this team is so good. Every time we have some problems and we lose matches, we understand and fix things fast.
Well, speaking of fixing things in the past, Train yesterday, I think North surprised a lot of people by adding that to their map pool and winning over you guys. What are the things you learned from that loss that perhaps helped you in the win against C9 today?
I prefer not to say too much about that, but that's definitely some meta change that's changing on Train, and we have we needed to make some changes, and we did on this map. And of course, every single loss teaches you something, and the loss against North wasn't different. We watched the match and saw which positions we should take differently and how we should approach some strategies, and it paid off on this game. I mean, they were winning 4-0 and then us this side, and I think we did a pretty much amazing CT side after that.
I know, Fallen, that you have a lot of experience playing against Cloud9, most recently at the ESL Cologne finals. How does this C9 feel in comparison to the other lineup? I
think the C9 is really promising. They're very good players. All of them, they can change matches very fast, and they played super well. The match wasn't easy in any aspect. I think they matched a very good SK today, and that's why I think they're going home. But they could do way more damage against other teams, and if they played us yesterday, maybe they would win.
Well, obviously, moving forward, there's a lot of fantastic teams here. Other than Astralis, who you already have a long-standing rivalry with, are there any other teams that you're focusing on or maybe impressed by?
I think the teams that always impress us is the teams that are getting to the top. And I think we're going to play the winners from G2 Immortals, which is G2. So we have one more rock to take away from our path, because G2 is a very difficult opponent for us. So it's going to be very challenging.
Well, congratulations again, Fallen. Best of luck in the Malmö arena. And with that, it'll be the Brazilians sending the Americans packing as they move on to the quarterfinals.
Always interesting to hear Fallen's insight into how the game went for him. Of course, steering clear of the train question. We'll be talking about that this time with my analysts. I'm joined by Sponge, Pimp, and YNK. Myself, Machine, going to be hopefully guiding this conversation in an interesting direction. First of all, actually, we are going to keep on track. We are going to follow that train of thought. Hey, hear what I did there? Sound effects aside.
Yeah, I think the game plan that SK went in was either to get them into the game early because it was quite aggressive and fast. They had some really interestingly timed out executes off the opening smokes, and then they would throw the next wave just as it was forcing Cloud9 to rotate, which I think was cool. But the issue when you play CS like that is you're playing against a Cloud9 lineup who loves to play heads-up CS. These are all guys who are focused on their spots on the map, and they're just fraggers, right? You could see time and time again running into Tarek's crosshair. He opened up the board 5 or 6 times on that CT side, getting the first kills, sometimes getting multi-frags, and that's not what I would go into the game plan against a team like Cloud9, especially a new roster. If you play a slow, methodical style, you make them force all of their utility out, and then you get a pick, then they're going to rotate, they're going to get confused, someone has to make a play, communication breaks down, you're SK, best team in the world, you collapse on them and win. It was closer than I think it had to be, but SK got it done in the end.
Yeah, in the end, I mean, 16-13 if you didn't quite catch it. 16-13, again, they said they watched the demo from North, and so, I mean, I don't know how much evidence we're going to be able to identify, but they certainly must have felt that there was an improvement. Jacob, what did you make of Train all around?
I think they played pretty well, C9, and as Chad said, the CT side was pretty impressive. As he also correctly pointed out, SK didn't play the way they normally play, and I think there was a lot of opportunities for SK to change that up, but I think that's down to the fact that SK are not confident in their Train right now. You know, they sort of lost that confidence after going up and knowing they were so good on it, so now it's a map they actually scramble on. So I think that's playing into C9's favor. Overall, on Train was a bit scary, I'd say, but SK turned up. You know, Fur turned up on the CT side, and we saw some vintage fair play with the M4, and that's you don't counter that doing anything. That's just Fur doing his thing.
I have a question for you in more recent times. So the way it looked for me anyway was that teams have worked out Taco's tendencies inside. Because you noticed again in this game that they were kind of just walking inside. They'd obviously stacked Fur in there, so it was a little bit of a different story, and they tried to do that yesterday versus North. We didn't really get around to doing this as Renegades because we were too busy trying to work out how we're going to run defaults and executes. But in a team like Liquid, where you're making it to these bigger events and stuff, how deep are you or the coaches looking into the tendencies of the players to actually exploit like that? Because that's such an opening for them to get into that inner bomb site time and time again.
Well, when I had Zeus as a coach, he was one of the type of coaches who looked into that. He tried to find the small gaps in the defense, and Taco was definitely, especially all trained players who plays in are players who's being looked at all the time, you know, because that's where you can exploit teams. And you're right about that. The way SK approached that today was completely different. You even saw Taco playing the AWP, which is normally not something we see inside. He's normally the guy playing behind Pop Dog Train and playing first position.
So you think that's a response from what happened yesterday?
I think I'm not sure if it's a response from yesterday. It's probably something they've practiced. You know, he's not going to pick up the AWP mid-side of tournament. Okay. You know, probably something they have practiced. But overall, it's an adjustment I think SK need to make. You know, because they know that the C2 side haven't been as strong as it has been previously.
Now, talking of the CT side, actually, it's a question. I guess Yenka, you can take this one regarding the fact that, you know, Cloud9 did have a good showing on Train, and I wonder, you know, do you think that there is when you make a new team, do you think the CT side comes more naturally, comes quicker than that of the attacking side?
I think it does, because it's more based on communications, players just playing their own positions, and someone making the calls, you know, someone giving the call if you lose some map control, what are you going to do, how are you going to adapt, also if, you know, the time is ticking and time is passing and nothing is happening, are you going to switch things up, are you going to go for an aggressive play yourself? On the T side, you need a lot more coordination, you need to know who's going to check which spots, how you're going to end the rounds coming out of a default. So I think for Cloud9, especially with these changes, upgrading in terms of firepower, CT should be a bit easier early on, and we saw them on both maps actually winning a couple of force buys as well, which is actually not that uncharacteristic for SK to lose against force buys. They like to spread around the map, and then when you lose one player to a 1 for example, you lose some map control, and that's where things get a bit chaotic.
It certainly did. Fortunately, they had players like Fur, who could come ahead and deliver when they needed to. Our strafe player of the match has been decided, and it will indeed be Mr. Fernando. You can see his ADR, KDR, and his HS there. You can see just 2 maps. Didn't get taken to a third, but solid performance all round from him. And he is someone that I think, you know, we keep... I don't want to say we forget about him, because that's not fair, but we do... Sometimes he gets disguised. He gets lost in the chaos of these huge names of SK.
He's a grinder, right?
He is... Well, he was Fur God, and you get to see some of that godlikeness here on Train.
He was the most consistent over the 2 maps with the team, right? He was just putting up the numbers when they needed to get it done, and obviously flashy plays here, there, and everywhere to help it out. But with this guy, he's been in the shadow of Cold Zero, so to speak, right? Because we all tout Cold Zero as the best player in the world, but you could argue that, you know, you have 1 and 2, the best in the world in the server at the same time on the same team, which is something which could be very, very daunting. And he was, you know, just another display of that. Not as aggressive as he normally is.
I think over the last 6 or 9 months or so, or let's say in 2017, Fur has upped his game with pistols, especially on the CT side so much. I feel like every time I watch them play a game and on the CT side he gets at least 2 kills with the USP. I think that's one of the reasons why SK also has had some very good performances. Obviously the pistol rounds very, very important, but yeah, one could also argue that Coldzera is the best player in the world because of Fur, because of the rest of his team as well. They're the ones creating the space for him to do his own thing. He's not, you know, an aggressive player. He's more of a passive player, not a playmaker, but not in the sense of creating openings, more of a playmaker in a sense of closing out rounds.
Not the best, but there's no one better, was one of my favorite quotes from that of Olaf Meister himself. I think we're going to just kind of have to leave it on the note of Cloud9, the first time we got to see them. Janko, the last words regarding Cloud9, it's not the end, it's very much the start of this North American adventure for these guys.
Yes, I believe they just need more time, right? You could see in some of the rounds on the T side as well of Cobblestone, they have a couple of executes that they went for, but it's just more time to coordinate them well, to add depth to their playbook, more strategies, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens with the in-game leader role, right? Are they going to stick with Tarek, or is that going to shift back to Stewie or Automatic, or perhaps even Rush? I feel like it's going to be, you know, what's funny?
You said Rush in-game leading.
But we said Tarek in-game leading,
Yeah.
so yeah.
On the
I said
in-game
if
leading.
it's going to be someone, I said Tarek is if it's going to be Stewie or Automatic or Rush, someone else like taking over.
Okay. That's right.
That's why they were laughing.
That's why I thought it was funny. Rush in-game leading.
Ah.
But Valens wasn't here. Their coach wasn't here.
Okay, yeah, you were wondering where he was.
Yeah.
Absence behind.
Out of all tournaments, the one where he can actually talk more.
Didn't rock up.
Didn't quite. Yes, indeed. That is the new DreamHack Masters rule if you're unfamiliar. Coaches can talk in that start and end round time. So we're going to go ahead and actually end this round of analysis. When we do come back, though, we've got a lot to look forward to when we talk about Renegades. They're attempting to cause even more of a stir in this tournament. They actually sent Polish favourites Virtus Pro home, but we're going to be seeing exactly what they are capable of versus an even bigger beast. Na'Vi now, getting Simple back in the reins, the puppet master of the CIS squad. They're going to be taking on the Renegades, the Aussies. And we'll see if they can send Na'Vi down under. With all of that said, we're going to go ahead and check out Sliver walkthrough of how everything works with them. When we come back, we'll be talking all about Na'Vi versus Renegades.
Watch CS